Okay, this is a quick little how-to on what I did to make my ferret her cage. It's a 3-level vertical cage. Wanted to use up as little space as possible in the room. And I admit I'm not the handiest guy in the world, so I wanted to make a cage for her that would be cheaper than buying one for $200-300. That would give her the room and to move around and to eat and everything. And like I said, I'm not too handy, so I think I did a pretty good job, and it cost me $100. You can probably do it for quite cheaper. It's just I was really lazy and I did it the easy way. So let's take a look. So there's the finished product right there. You can see it's 3 levels. I've got her bedding and her hammock and all that other stuff down at the bottom. I'm actually going to throw in another hammock there that I bought. It's going to go on the bottom. In the middle, can't necessarily see it, but her water dish is right in the middle there. Sorry about the lighting. And her food dish goes right beside the water. It's just out on the floor right now because she's out running around. And then up on the top left over there is where her litter box goes, but that's also out right now because she runs around the house, and she's actually really well trained, so she only uses the one litter box, so it's good, saves us on cleanup and mess and whatnot. So you can see it's pretty simple, standard wood frame. It's got ramps going up, which I will explain in just a minute. Now, I actually cheated when I built this, because what I did is I actually took an old bookshelf or a bookcase that was already out with the frame. So I'm going to go open this up and kind of show you what it looked like from a bookshelf point of view. So now if you can, use your imagination and picture it without the ramps and without the top and without the door. And so basically it was just a little bookshelf with 2 shelves. And this is actually upside down, so the bottom should have been the top because it's got wood on the bottom. And what we did is we took a hole saw. So here's what you want to do. Like I said, you can either start from scratch and get the wood yourself, or just get an old bookshelf. So that's what I did. And in the middle shelves, as you can see, I took a hole saw and I cut a 3-inch hole on opposite sides of the shelving. Then what I went and did is I got some wood and made some ramps with it. So now you can see those go from the top of the hole down to the bottom. Okay? Now there's 2 things that you got to watch out for when you're building these ramps. The first is that, well, that's a lie, there's actually 3 things that you got to watch out for. The first is that the actual ramp is wide enough for her to turn around on and has space for her to move on. Because what my first one, actually the first ramps I made, they were too narrow, so she couldn't really turn around on them. She got on them, and if she tried to turn, she'd fall right off. So the ramps have to be a bit thicker or wider, that way she can move around on them, or he. You also want to carpet them. That's what I did. I went and bought some carpet, and you can just stale it down with a carpet gun or brad nailer or whatever. Anything that'll nail the carpet down works just fine. I did the top and the bottom. Sorry, top and the bottom, so that way she doesn't get any splinters or, you know, mess around with the ramp a little bit. Oh, speak of the devil, there she is right there, chomping away at me while I pet her, or while I look at her cage. So you want to make sure it's carpeted. You want to make sure that it's wide. And now she's biting my ankles. What you also want to do is you want to make sure that it goes right up to the other edge of the hole. Because what else happened when I first made this cage is that the hole was too far from the ramp. And so you can see here, it's probably only a good, I'd say 2 inches from the hole to the carpet, or to the ramp. And what happened before was, she would be up top here, trying to get down onto this ramp, but because the space was too high, she couldn't put her feet down. And so she could go up really easy because all she'd do was stand on her hind legs, but she couldn't go down because her little feet couldn't reach the ramp. So you want to make sure that the ramp goes all the way up to the top, and that way she has very little room to fall down if she wants to get down from the bottom. Okay, so I put in these little sticky laminates where her food dish and water dish are, and then up top also where her litter box is. That way it provides a little bit easier cleanup when she makes a mess, as you can see, as she has done today. So it's just a little bit easier to clean and it won't stain and whatnot. So again, like I said, this was a bookshelf that's upside down. So if you can imagine it, we started out the other side, and all we did is we bought some mesh wiring. Now you can take a look at the gauge, or whatever the hell they call it, the spacing. It's enough just to get my finger just a bit through. So she can get her claws through, and that's pretty much it. She can't get her nose in or anything like that. And all I did was I started on one side, and I took the mesh all the way around, cut off the excess, nailed it down to the sides. Went all around from the top. Or well, I guess from the top to the bottom, because this is actually the bottom of the bookshelf. Okay, so you can see here is I just nailed it down. Boom, or stapled it down rather. So it's just held on by staples. Take your wire snips and snip off all the excess stuff. So now you've got your own encaged bookcase. And you can do that for the back. The sides are already mounted on here because they're wood, right? It's a bookshelf. So the only thing you have to do really is make your door. And for that you just get some 1x2x8 or 1x2x10 or whatever you want to use for your door. And you build yourself a frame. Simple enough, right? 4 sides to your frame. Oh, there's a little baby there running in. So you build yourself up your frame. You build your mesh along your door. And then of course you buy some piano hinges or whatever you want to use. Simple stuff right there. One on the bottom, one on the top. That provides the hinge for the door. You buy some little clasps here. I got one on the top, one on the bottom, so when you want to shut it, goes simple into the eye hook there, and she's shut in there. Simple as pie. So I took a bookshelf. The bookshelf was $70, so it definitely could have been cheaper. You know, I don't know if you just grab the wood yourself and nail it together. I don't know how much that would cost you. And that's about it. So as you can see, it was really simple and basic, and she loves it. She can get around and move around pretty simple. So that's her new fancy cage. It beats living in a little one-floor cage that she was in before.